Well, it's been another busy offseason here in Bastia. However, unlike last year, there were really no unexpected departures. That said, we're getting the season off to not the best start, as our first game is PSG. My name's FM19, and this is the Ritornu Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 95. Well, the transfer window is still open, so there could be a couple more players leaving and coming in. It's kind of up in the air. I'm not quite sure. Frankly, it's been about 3 days since I opened this. Took the weekend off to go over to my mother-in-law's house and start cleaning that out and everything like that. But also had some behind-the-scenes stuff I wanted to take care of in terms of the save. So we're up and running again. Victor Manuel Martinez, Becca Papashvili, Bozdar, Dimov, Sheikh Fry, Carlos Vinicius, Bolani Malangu, Javad Rashidi, Michael Lukac, Jose Romo Martinez, Usama Aribi, and Raduyan Bentayeb all went out on loan. The one name people aren't going to recognize is Javad Rashidi, and he was one of the players who came in on an in this year. We'll see him in a little bit. Miguel left on a free to Ibar. Boban Jeric went to Troyes for 550,000 euros. Abderrahmane Pereira, who was a youth player, went to Gijon for 850,000 euros. Guzman Fernandez ended up going to Bournemouth for 7.5 million euros. Qiuxiang Cheng had a bunch of interest from Chinese teams. He was wanted. When I put him out there, Arsenal was one of the few teams that gave me anything close to his value. We brought him in for 7.25. We sold him for 11. I think once you take into account his salary and everything like that, we probably lost. With Matthias Correa, Inter did pick up his contract option at the end of the loan, so he moved for 25 million euros. So on our outs, we sold 45 million. On the ends, Michael is a... Well, sorry about the delay there. George saw a rabbit out the window and had to go out back. He's never ever going to catch the thing. I think it's the same rabbit who constantly teases him. That is a whole clutch of rabbits that constantly tease all the neighborhood dogs. I've never seen one caught. So, on the first ends, Michael, a free transfer, a youth player, here for depth on the under 19 squad, rather. 1-star current ability, 2.5-star potential ability. Like I said, he's here for depth. Javad Rashidi, who I mentioned on the outs, comes to us from Foulad in the Iranian Football League. 5 million euros up front, going to 7.75 million based on international appearances. I had a scout find him, and I'm not quite sure how, to be honest with you, because I don't remember scouting in the Middle East. He just came up with my scouting reports. And I really liked what I saw. He is a left-footed central midfielder who also plays a really good deep-lying playmaker, and is really good at all the other positions as well. Really nice physicals, really good mentals. I like the 17 bravery, the 16 vision, 15 teamwork is nice. Everything else is pretty solid. I mean, when a 3 flair is your lowest attribute, you're doing okay. The 9 anticipation and 8 positioning are a little bit on the low side, but I think we can work on those. I mean, he's 18 years old. Technically, he's pretty good. 16 first touch, 13 passing, 11 technique. The 9 marking and 10 tackling are a little bit low, but he'll grow into it. The thing I didn't realize, and I should have, is that I got to go to Ligue 1 here real quick. So the rules for players in Ligue 1 are pretty straightforward for the most part, but they get a little convoluted when you start digging. You're only allowed 4 non-European players. And then they have nations that are treated as European nations. So you have all the European nations, all the free trade nations, all the nations in Oceania, excluding New Zealand, Kyrgyzstan, all the African, Caribbean, Pacific group states, which is nice because there are some very good youth players, and especially, honestly, with the French influence in Africa, you get a lot of scouts with a lot of knowledge of that, even though they're kind of based in France. Ukraine, Tunisia, Azerbaijan, Russia, Turkey, Uzbekistan. You go through the list, and you realize there's none of the Middle Eastern countries on there. And honestly, it's one of those things I never really paid attention to. And after I signed him, I went to register him. I realized I have 6 players who are all foreign. So let me go to that real quick here. So this is the squad. The orange are the guys that are loaned out. But if you look, Sessegnon is now foreign because Europe's out of the European Union. Macon is foreign because he's from Brazil. Vinicius is foreign because he's from Brazil. Leonardo Puebla is from Argentina? Yep. And then you got Javad Rashidi, and at one point in time, I had another... Quzhang Cheng was a foreign player, but he left. So it was a matter of loaning players out and getting players in and to kind of meet the 4-player limits. I remember having to jump through those hoops when I was at Dunkirk because it was great. You'd find this great 18-year-old Brazilian wonder kid, and then you couldn't register him because you had 4 other players that you really needed to start on your team. Next in, Umar Diallo from ES Bingerville, which is in Côte d'Ivoire. 20 years old, midfielder, here for depth, more for the reserve squad than anything else, but he does have potential. 1.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He's going to get a lot of playing time on the reserve squad. He's already capped at the under 20 level for Côte d'Ivoire. He's already won it as well. Oh, on loan. Yeah, he's not going out on loan. Really good central midfielder, decent deep line playmaker, Mazzala. Nice mentals. Physicals, they could be a little bit better. The technicals, they're okay where they count. The 7 tackling is a bit on the low side, but all that can be improved. The 6 concentration is a bit of a worry, but the 16 determination, 14 decision making, 14 work rate, 15 vision really kind of make up for those sorts of things. Next in, our first big purchase. I really wanted to bulk up our defensive center line. I've got decent players there, but I wanted players who were decent and could get better with playing time. Alejandro Moreno fits that bill. 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, good central defender, nice physicals, good mentals. Well, the bravery's on the low side. I'm going to have to work on that. There's just no two ways about it. But the 16 teamwork, the 14 positioning, the 13 determination, 18 decision making, and the composure and concentration make up for that, as does the 17 anticipation. He's a decent corner taker. He's okay at heading, and the jumping reach is nice as well. His marking and tackling are pretty good. Everything else, he's solid. He's going to take a little bit of tutoring and some training to realize his potential. But frankly, if I can't do that, I don't know what's going on. I'm actually halfway decent at that sort of stuff. He does stay back at all times. He does not dive into tackles, which is what I like. He will be part of the defensive center back rotation. Next in, Rene Bernard from Barcelona, 14.5 million euros. Fits the bill as part of what I was mentioning earlier in terms of the defensive center back rotation. Also helps out in that he's French, so I didn't have any registration issues. Ignore all the down arrows. It's FM being FM again. I think I've mentioned this in the past. It says, oh, it's going down. Well, no, it's not. Because if you were to look, and we'll look at something like here, I'll pull up. Why is that not showing? Is it something with the skin? It's got to be something with the skin because the lines aren't showing. Anyhow, imagine you have a line here at 7. And actually, it's not 7. It's like 6.9. His ability's falling down to 6.8. That's why you have the down arrows. This always happens. I don't know why. He's not coming back from an injury or anything like that. It's just FM being weird. Anyhow, Rene, really solid physicals, really solid mentals, really solid technicals where they count. Well worth the money I paid for him. 3.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Plays the short, simple passes, marks the opponent's tight leads, no through balls, stays back at all times. He will see a lot of playing time, especially with all the fixture congestion we have this year. Then one of the things I realized in the offseason was that while Ryan Sessegnon is a good defensive left back and pretty good attacking midfielder on the left side, he's 29 years old. He's 3-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. Stefano Stridi was a year younger than him. I needed a quality replacement, someone who I was comfortable bringing in for occasional starts and eventually taking over for Sessegnon. And Florent Robert, one of my scouts, found it. Anderlecht, defensive left back, can also play wing back. He's a full back, not a wing back. Anyhow, this kid, 18 years old, already capped at the under 21 level for Belgium. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. His physicals are already nice. 18 bounce, 16 jumping reach, 16 stamina, 6 foot 380 pounds. Mix that in with a 13 heading. He's going to be getting some goals in the box. The mentals are nice across the board. He's not really lacking anywhere for his position. The 14 determination is nice. 14 decisions, 13 concentration, 13 bravery is nice. Decent crosser at 11. Marking 12, tackling 10, but those are improving. You can see they're going up. And I've had him just as long as I've had Rene, so I don't know why his are going up and Rene's are going down. But he will get some spot starts this year. Unless Sessegnon gets injured, then he will get all the starts. And if he comes on and is really, really good, Sessegnon could be going to the bench. All the bonuses for Rashidi, Moreno, and Robert are based on international appearances. Maximilian Eisen, here on a youth contract, or a youngster contract, here as depth for the under-19 squad, 2-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. He could get a start in a cup game, a French cup game or two. Moussa Sisi, 18-year-old defensive right back. Just, again, here for depth on the under-19 and reserve squad, 1-star current ability, 2.5-star potential ability. Fuad Handzik, defensive right back depth, under-18s, or the under-19 squad. He's capped at the under-23 level for Bosnia. 1.5-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. Could see a start or two in the French Cup games or something like that. Claudio Mota, striker, needed some help up top on the under-19 squad and the reserves, and he fit the bill. 19-year-old Portuguese kid, 1-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. And then Francisco Martinez. When Bojan Jeric left, I needed a backup keeper in goal, and he was the best available. 2-star current ability, 2.5-star potential ability. Alban Lafont was available from Fiorentina. Wanted a backup contract and wanted 160,000 euros a week to be a backup to Orlov, which was not happening. All the other keepers that were available wanted a ton of money and first-team contracts. And they're just, my backup keeper, unless Orlov gets injured or I'm giving him a day off because of fixture congestion, they're not going to see a lot of starts. And, there's no reason for me to be paying 160,000 euros a week to keep a backup keeper on the bench, even if they are of the same quality that Orlov is. As off-seasons go, ours wasn't too bad, other than the fact I did a tour of Eastern Europe and scheduled Fenerbahce twice in 4 days. We made a decent amount of money off it. And there were some pretty decent teams here. Troyes and AS Boyaois are our two affiliates, and we did okay against them. The reason I came back this early, what with the transfer window still going on, is that we're playing PSG today. It's a hell of a way to get your season started, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at them real quick. I haven't looked at them in great detail. Holy cow. Holy cow. Ooh. Well, they sold Marcus Wilsh to Man United for $112 million, and he is a very good young defensive center back. One of the best in the game, probably. Alvaro, who was their striker, who gave us so many issues last year. Although, let me see something here real quick. Yeah, Kaplan is almost as good as him. And Alvaro's 8 years older. So, yeah, I think I got a deal there. He went to Chelsea for $153 million. Off on a tangent here, what did Chelsea do? Spent 181, sold 9.5. Alvaro and Roger Henry. Okay, they must have really wanted him. Luka Borzic went to Metz for free. Ignacio on loan. Cedeno on loan. So they sold two players and made 265 million euros. Who they bring in? Christian Bedoya from Real Madrid for 63 million euros. Who's the replacement for Wilsh? Ricardo Pinto from Juve. Attacking midfielder. Possible replacement for Alvaro, but I doubt it. And then Angel Silvero from Roma, another defensive center back. And they still have De Ligt. Yep, they still got De Ligt. So, jeez. It's going to be a hell of a test for us. So, I'm going to set the best 11, check the reserves, and we're going to come back with our match at PSG in just a bit. Well, and this is the squad we're starting today in our 4-2-4. Orlov in goal. Sessegnon, Ivanov, Bernard, and Flores as the defensive backs. Lemos and Gravenberch as the midfielders. Ruiz and Macon as the attacking midfielders, with Kaplan and Pichon up top as the strikers. Just a credible result. That's all I'm looking for. I don't want to get blown out. I'd settle for a draw. I would hope for a win, but you know what they say about hoping. Bedoya. Or to Oramus. Back to Bedoya, but Pichon gets in his way. Bedoya wrestles it away from him. Stefan up to Sergej. To Zabrowski. Passes it up into space. Flores is going to run it down before Oramus gets there. Oh, his pass gets intercepted by Stefan. Sends it to Pino. To Sergej. Top of the box. Takes the shot off Orlov and in. Nuts. Not the way I wanted to get the season started, guys. And Troyes is in League 1, but they're still an affiliate. That's interesting. Orlov should have stopped that. Come on. I keep touting you as one of the best young keepers in the league. You need to start playing better than that. Those are the shots you should be stopping. It's odd. He stops the shots he shouldn't and doesn't stop the shots he should. Sessignon knocks away, but Sergej is going to get that. To Stefan. Back to Sergej. Back to Stefan. Or to Zabrowski. Back to Sergej. To Lasovoy. Sergej out to Ormus all on the left. He's going to cross it in. Mbappe's there. Oh boy. Guys, this is not what I expected. Lemos to Ruiz. Centers it. Oh, off of Bastia. Did it go off Pichon? Oh, they're being reviewed. Clear offside. Oh, come on. Hulick on the throw-in. What the heck happened there? Oh, they got a penalty. Son of a gun. Come on. I think Orlov telegraphed he was going right before Mbappe even started his run-up. Flores. Macon sends it in. Ruiz hits the crossbar, and Becker picks it up. Allison. Sessignon's on a 5-9. Flores on a 6-0. Jeez. You know what? We'll bring on Florent Robert. Becker launches it forward towards Pinto. Knocked down. Ivanov has it to Bernard. Back to Orlov. Out towards Macon, but Ormus steps in front of it. However, Flores has it. Back to Orlov. Up to Ivanov. Back to Orlov. Long pass towards Kaplan. He has it down. Pichon has it. Holds it up. Passes it up, but Huljik's there. Bernard runs up in front of that, but heads it right to Lasovoy. Splits the defender. Mbappe's there. Orlov with a nice stop. Kaplan knocks away. Sergej is there. Kaplan knocks away again. Sergej gets it. Bounces back and forth. And the highlight ends. Robert on the throw-in to Lemos. Over to Gravenberch. To Kaplan, who drives forward. He's got Pichon on the other side to help. Sends it out to Macon instead, who holds it up. Crosses it in. Kaplan's there. Wow. That was a hard goal. Kaplan sends it across. Macon holds it up all alone. Nice header. That was powerful. I'm hoping for 30 goals between Pichon and Kaplan this year. Gravenberch, corner kick in. Ivanov runs it down, taps it to Pichon, who's dispossessed by Stefan. Up to Pinto. Over to Zabrowski. Orlov, nice block. Okay, we're gonna... Bernard is going to switch to right back. Moreno is going to come on for Flores. And switch places with Ivanov, who's going to come off, and Bueno Prieto is going to take his spot. Gravenberch, corner kick in. Ormus knocks it away, but Moreno has it. Back out to Gravenberch. Sends it in. Knocked down. Lemos. Oh, nice shot from distance. 20 yards just inside the D. 30 minutes left. We got a chance. This was nice. Gravenberch sends it in. DeLitt knocks it down, but Lemos is right there. Stops it with his feet and just blasts it past Allison. That was well done. Claw the draw back. Praise the guys and they're overwhelmed. That's brilliant. DeLitt taps it up to Pinto, who drives forward over to Lesovoy, out to Huslik, back to Lesovoy. Sergej bounces it off a Bastia player. Pichon runs it down, out to Ruiz, who drives forward. It's 4-on-4, out. Oramus knocks it down, but Gravenberch is there. Stefan dispossesses him, but Macon picks it up to Kaplan. Ruiz, and we equalize. Oh, that was nice. 10 minutes left. I'm on the attack. Oh, he's confused. Offsides, come on. Gravenberch in, knocked down. Lemos. Foul by Huslik in the box. Now I got music. Now they show the VAR. I got music for this. Outside the box. That's going to be like right on the corner. Man, Lemos curls it. Huljuk on the throw in at Pinto. Cuts to the center of the field, drops it off to Sergej. Back out to Huljuk. Crosses it in. Oh, Zabrowski misses it. Everybody misses it. Goes through the box. Zabrowski picks it back up, drives towards the center. Pinto back to Zabrowski to Huljuk. It's all on the right. Bernard heads it over Zabrowski. Puts it across. Lesovoy's there. Bounces it off of Florence. Oh, Orlov with a nice save. We're going to lose, but we made him earn it. Mbappe sends it in. Moreno knocks it away. Lesovoy lost in the crowd, and it goes out of bounds. 3 minutes of extra time. This should be it. Oramus to Pinto. And that is the game. It was what? 3 VAR decisions that went against us? If you count the one that, oh, it's just outside the box. We had our chances. Granted, PSG had 29 shots, 15 on target. We had 13 and 3. But still, that was a good comeback by us. We definitely made them earn it, that's for sure. They really had to tighten down in the second half. And despite me saying that, they had 16 shots in the second half and 13 in the first. But, we almost clawed it back. 5 years ago, we would have been beat by 5. 3 years ago, we would have been shut out. This year, we're making them work for it, I think. So, of course, the fact that both my starting backs on the wings had sub-6 games is a bit disconcerting. Dominate the game. Yeah, okay, they did. Moreno makes his debut. The reserves won. Gravenberch is close to triggering a clause that's going to make us pay Madrid 500,000 euros. So I'm going to do the press conference here, and then we're going to come back and see who we're going to play next. Well, the Champions League group stage has not been drawn yet. But what we will do is come back for whoever this first one is, and then play Marseille. Transfer will be closed by then. Any more transfer moves we make should be done. I'm not really looking to strengthen the squad anymore, unless a player, like someone like Kaplan comes up, and the money is right. Speaking of money, we've still got a 52 million euro transfer budget, and I've still got 800,000 euros to play with in the payroll. So we've got a ton of room. I don't know where else I would go to strengthen the squad right now. I mean, Mattis is 20 years old. He's definitely growing. Bernard can come over. I got a couple of youth players I can bring on for spot starts. Remains to be seen. Like I said, unless someone of a Lemos or an Orlov or a Kaplan's quality just jumps out and says, I really want to go there, this is probably the squad we're going to keep, unless injuries happen or something bolts up out of the blue. So, that said, if you liked what you've seen and heard, if you liked what I did in the transfer window, please let me know. Questions, comments, criticisms, leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name's FM19. I thank you for watching the Return on Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 95.